Today, I'm gonna challenge myself to mix a beat without ever hearing it out loud. I'm really used to mixing in my studio, so I'm a little bit nervous, but luckily I have some amazing headphones to mix on. Now, normally I don't love mixing on headphones because they usually don't capture how a room feels when you play music out loud. But these headphones are VSSX from Slate Audio, and they actually do. Let me show you. So what I've got here is this beat I started. I made this for another video and I was a little tired when mixing this, so I suspect there are gonna be some mix issues here. But to really hear them well, I'm gonna use the VSX plugin, which comes with the VSX headphones. Now, to explain this super simply, these headphones themselves have a very flat response, so they play back your audio as uncolored as possible, not adding too much of bass or treble or anything. It's very neutral. But what the VSX plugin does is it models different playback environments, so you can actually feel like your song is being played in a famous studio, a car, even on a boombox. Now, here I'm using it as a plugin on the master bus, just in my DAW, but you can also use the system-wide software. That way you can listen to music from Spotify, Tidal, and you hear the modeling effects of all these spaces applied to that too. Okay, so the first thing I'm thinking here is these vocal chops here sound way too loud, especially when I hear it in this space, Steven's mix room. So let me go ahead and turn this down now quite a bit. It's already better. Next, I want to address this kick right here. It's sounding a little weak to me in the studio environment. I think it needs more impact, more sub. But actually, if I check it in this space here, so this is like a phone emulation, the kick totally disappears, which is very characteristic of small speakers like this. So when you're trying to get a little bit more power to come across, what you have to do is not necessarily just boost the sub, but boost the higher frequencies of your low-end instrument, be it a kick or a bass. You have to give it a boost in the highs too, so that it can cut through these small speakers, which, let's face it, have no sub. Okay, I messed around with this a little bit, and this is what I actually did. I ended up replacing my kick sample entirely. I often do that in my mix stage. I really question the snares and the kicks and see if I can get a better sample than what I originally picked. So what I actually ended up is constructing my own kick. So I have the kick sub right here. And then I have what I call a kick top right here, which is the clicky higher part meant to cut through on those small speakers. This is what it sounds like. You can definitely hear the kick sort of pop now. Yeah, I'm starting to feel pretty good about this, especially since I also calibrated what's called echo before I started. So echo is short for ear canal curve optimization, and it calibrates the VSX exactly to your ear and what you're hearing. It's a brand new feature in VSX 5.0, which just dropped, by the way. And I've never seen anything like this, but you go through this process where you're asked to match the volumes of different tones. And at the end of it, basically VSX knows much more about your individual hearing and how to adjust to it. So yeah, you do all of that and every speaker model will sound exactly as it should to you. So pretty cool. All right, let's take a look at our bass here. We have 808, and yeah, I find bass extremely challenging to mix on headphones usually because it never sounds as it does in the room. But I'm actually loving what this sounds like in this Archon, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, studio model. The bass is nice and deep, but I think it could be nicer and deeper now that I can actually hear it and feel it. I'm using Sublab here, which is my favorite 808 plugin, and I'm just gonna adjust the level of my sine wave, my X sub, my distortion a little bit. I might add some EQ as well to even boost the low end more. And I want to dip a bit in the mids too, because I like it when 808 pops here in the lows and maybe has a little bit of distortion in the mids, but I like to leave the lower mids open for pads, other instruments. Okay, yeah, here's what the 808 and the kick sound like together. Ooh, it's nice and deep. I like it. I seriously wish I had this the last time I was traveling for work. Like, I worked in so many nice studios over the years, but it's still so disorienting when you just don't know the room and things don't sound like what you're used to. This would have really saved me a lot of headache last time I was writing K-pop in South Korea. But hey, there's always next time. I finally feel like my beat mostly is sounding good. I just need to focus on the smaller details like percussion, sonic candy. So this is why I'm going to use Human Linear. This is a new virtual headphone model available in version 5.0. Basically what this does is it recreates the sound of super nice speakers without any room artifacts. So you listen to your mix with zero interference. Okay, yeah, I can feel like this bell right here really needs a little bit of a high-end boost. It's a little dull for what this is. It's supposed to be sparkly. I can go ahead and do a little bit of a high shelf on it. I'm also using Arcade for this, so I'm gonna adjust some of the parameters in here as well to make it brighter. Okay, I think this came out really good. I'm gonna check this mix inside VSX, and I'll also turn the speakers back on and check in the room. Okay, but seriously, this sounds really good to me. I can't believe I did it all on these headphones. So yeah, if you guys want to check out VSX 5.0, Steven Slate Audio just cut the price of VSX Platinum by $100 for the next few weeks. So you get the headphones, you get the 22 virtual mix rooms, Human Linear, and there's even a rent-to-own option, which we love. I have the link in the description, so let me know what you guys think. And if you guys would like to see more about how I made this beat, you can check out this video right here. I will see you in the next one.